Make him bite.
Oh.
Look.
Oh, look at him flipping out of the water.
Yeah.
Oh, there he goes. I almost hooked him that time. One of the highlights to fishing any estuary along the eastern seaboard that has striped bass is catching those fish on topwater. They're such an aggressive fish. The bite is explosive. It's amazing to watch them just slam that topwater bait. Here in North Carolina, we do a lot of topwater fishing for striped bass on the shallow flats and the estuaries. It's generally more of a spring, summer, and fall fishery. However, here we are in the winter, and you can catch them in the wintertime on topwater, believe it or not, if the conditions are right. The conditions just have to be perfect, though. And when I'm talking about conditions, what I'm talking about really is a warming trend in the winter. When you have a water temperature rise into the 50s, that's normally a time when you can get them to bite topwater. I have caught striped bass on topwater as low as 48.5-degree water. That's the coldest I've ever caught them. However, generally speaking, they bite better when it gets up to 52, 53. In the mid 50s is even better. The higher the better. And in this area, we do have that kind of weather in the wintertime. We'll have 2 or 3 weeks of really warm weather. It might be what we call kind of t-shirt weather in the winter, where the water temperature will come up and it'll stay up for a few weeks. So taking advantage of those periods of time in the weather with a different tactic that's more of a warm water tactic can sometimes be a very, very productive way to fish.
How thick he is all the way down to the tail.
That might be the fish of the day there. So you may wonder what kind of baits we prefer to fish for topwater stripers. This is one of my favorites right here. This is a Zara Spook Super Spook Junior, which is probably one of my go-to baits. We also use a lot of Rapala skitter walks, as well as some of the other Zara Spook sizes that are a little bit bigger. They make one called a one knocker, which has a little different rattle. They also make the Super Spook, which is a bigger size with 3 hooks on it. And sometimes when the conditions are a bit choppier, we use chugging baits like a popper or a storm chug bug, which is a real popular bait for us with a feathered tail. They tend to like those. These baits are great on days where it's very calm. They do not perform very well on rougher days when you're fishing in a chop. So just remember, have different types of baits in your box. Use the chugging baits on the choppier days, and the walk the dog style baits like the spooks and the skitter walks on the calmer days. And as far as presentation goes, just start out with a medium presentation, not too fast, not too slow, and let the fish kind of tell you how they want it to see it. Sometimes they like a little slower, sometimes they like a little faster, and sometimes even stopping it just a little bit every so often, maybe just for a split second, can elicit a really, really good bite. So just be flexible in your presentation, and just remember to let the fish tell you what they want.